Hey, it's Jupiter Ramelius, New York, and I'm here to actually record a video. It's not really live, but it's semi-live because this will be the first time you guys get to see it, and it goes directly to YouTube for you guys to watch. So with that said, let's get into it and take a look at the decks that we are about to see played. And first deck that we're going to see played is Murdoch the Elder of Metrogate by Cav, from the Archons of Atlanta. This deck is basically a Brobnar Shadows Untamed suite. Just plays good stuff. It's very like neutral to the ground as far as like anything like super crazy going on. Seems very linear in some assets, but it does have board control. It does have like the essence of the capability to steal a game. So this is a really nice adaptive deck. Has a little bit of everything in it, and just kind of throws together a bunch of things to go. The other deck that we're going to get to see today is X Peters Penply's Meaningless Adept. This is Mike Funi's deck for the evening, and this is one of his favorites. This is a 90 plus SAS deck. It's huge. I know this deck really well. I was the one that traded it to him, and this deck just does amazing control-y things. And Mike is really good at playing control. He's one of my teammates for Worlds, so I'm not saying that I'm favoring him to win this, but this deck is really good and he knows how to play it. So if anybody can win with this deck, it's Mike. So we'll see what happens with it. It has a little bit of everything: tribute, Six Semper, like EIs, the Obsidian Forge, the EDs. So this deck does a little bit of everything in the meta, especially Desanias and stuff like that for certain decks. But with all that said, let's get to it and let's get to this game here. And I will make sure that we set ourselves up to just watching TCO so you don't have to see my ugly mug. And then I'm going to tell these guys to go ahead and kick off and see it go. Kick it like the Beastie Boys. Here we go. Am I dating myself with that one, hun? My fiance has bad taste. She doesn't like the Beastie Boys. Comment below if you agree. All right, so we have the opening turn, and we look at a pretty nice hand, pretty balanced, and he comes in with a daughter to draw more cards. And the response is Brobnar, and here comes the Brobnar. The Brobnar like to fight, and they like to get on the board early, so let's see what happens. So Scrapper, Gravel Guts, and a little bit of the Shorty. Response is a Desania. Reaps with the daughter, gets to two, and just pushes out a little bit to see where Cav goes. So Cav is probably not going back to Brobnar here as he has a lot of cards in hand. I can see him possibly going into shadows here and kind of pushing his board state. And look at the artwork for A Vinda and J Vinda. Like side by side, you can see the art mixing together. It's pretty sweet. So that was neat. So you might see that soon on the Keyforge Premier League burn the stockpile segment where we talk about cards and just talk about art and stuff. We've been enjoying that, so stay tuned if you guys like art stuff. Like listen to us, we have fun. That's one of my leisure casts. It's pretty neat. I enjoy it. It is a VOD, but you can definitely listen to it as a podcast as well. But I have just not put it on the podcast. So we're seeing the Vindas go to work here, tag teaming and knocking people down. So pretty good start so far for Cav. He's up to 4 amber. Passes back to Mike, whose Mike is sitting on 2. And this is basically turn 4A here for Mike. You see the Obsidian Forge hit the table, followed by an Odak. Odak is a big player in this game as far as what he could do to stop what's going on here. But across the board from him, Cav is sitting on a pretty sweet looking untamed hand with a Harmonia, a Lynx, a Murmuk, a Mustic Murmuk, and a Nature's Call. So he could get like a 2-for-1 off of the Mustic Murmuk with the Nature's Call and do some real wrecking here. Can basically bounce the Odak and the Harbinger and kill both the Desania and the Redder Golem just with the Mustic Murmuk Nature's Call combo. So that's pretty nuts. And that's not counting the Brabble Lynx and the Harmonia that get to follow it. And then you could either hold on to the Song of Nature or just get rid of it to not get chained a card. So it'd be interesting to see the line that he decides to take with this. All the micro decisions of this game are amazing. So there are usually not big glaring mistakes, but there are sequences of small mistakes that tend to go off in the wrong path if you pick the wrong things. So it's interesting dynamic. Mhm. He's going to go Brobnar. He's going to opt to not play his muscle here on the Untamed yet because of the Harbinger of Doom, right? So he's going to get his value reaping, and then he's going to make him use that Harbinger to get the board back to even, and then he'll come back and put a lockdown on the Untamed with the Untamed turn. So pretty smooth, pretty good play. See what happens. Mike is a KG vet though with this deck, so I don't know if he falls for this. I think he makes him commit more to the board. I think this is a good time for EA to come out and just steal 2 by discarding, get to 5, reap with Harbinger, get to 6, and let him deal with the Harbinger here. But we'll see what he decides to do. Looks like he's reaping with the Harbinger, so it looks like he might be on board with my thought process. There's the EA, the discard for a steal. It comes the second discard for a steal. I think I hold that Exhume though. I don't think I get greedy. See what he thinks. There's the four. Oh, he's gonna forge and actually pop the Harbinger anyway. Interesting. I don't think I do that. Well, yeah, I guess that's good because he gets 2 keys off of it. Never mind. Mike knows how to play this deck. I don't. See, that's why I traded it to him because this deck is too much math. And there you go. That's like a 2 key turn for Mike there. So you got to forge the yellow key first, and then you got to use the Obsidian Forge to get max value off of the EI and the Reap Harbinger and wipe the board at the same time. So huge plays. And now Cav is stuck with playing his Harmonia for nothing and having to drop this Murmook twice to get rid of that ODAC, I think is the best way to do that. It seems so weak compared to what could have happened though. But that is the game, folks. That's how it plays. Get your value out of the Cauldron Boil. Make Cauldron Boil do it. Yes, Cauldron Boil. Awesome. Don't play your Murmook though, because your Murmook will kill something now. You don't want that. So he does chain himself too to get that in play, but he does have the Song of Nature now active, and it's something that can actually do a little bit of work at this point. So that's cool. Hmm. So this game is going back and forth. It's looking pretty solid. We have a Rustnar on board now, but a little bit late. Like I would have been there good to get there before the Obsidian Forge, but Cav can try to keep him off this key. But I think at this point, Mike is going to just push forward and try to get this win, make it easy. And then Cav's going to get the pleasure of trying to learn how to navigate this deck, which is to do it to max efficiency is pretty hard, but it has all the tools. I did get this deck from Kyle Coons, and then I traded it to Mike Funi. I got this and my Genka deck for one of his decks, so I think he made out pretty good. So we see the Mystic Murmuk re-showing itself, and he brought it along his brother, and we basically get to see a little bit of crazy. The Murmuks are taxing him as well as his opponent, so now he's like basically paying a double tax on himself because he's got the Edis in play as well. So it's kind of interesting that he put himself at that kind of handicap. I think at this point Mike is going to just go ahead and play Logos and push his oh he's gonna said he said he's going in all in right now. He's gonna go ahead and get some dinosaurs down, get this Axiom off. But if he gets the Axiom off, he basically he's gonna well I guess he could keep him off by playing a Axiom on the Edi. But I think he'd want to get some value. Hmm. There's the protection for the Titan Guardian. So now the Axiom can do its work. Oh, he's gonna ward it too. Gross. Grossness. Keeps him off the key and puts himself in check to go to a critical point for Cav to see if Cav can get out of this, which I don't believe he has an out. He does not. All right, so that's game one. All right, so we are off and running, and with that said, I am going to go ahead and give you guys another reminder that Fall Mass Mutation Madness 2-deck Survival, Mass Mutations only, November 7th, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. GMT. $10 entry fee, cash prizes to the top 8, so 80% of the pool is going back into the thing. First place is going to walk away with $25 and an invitation to Season 2's the season two league. So that's awesome. But also for entering, you get a chance to win 20 Dark Amber tokens at random. It'll put all the names on a wheel. We're gonna let Harlan spin it, and if Harlan's luck is with you, you will earn 20 Dark Amber tokens from Matty Casper at Luxurious Playstyle, where you can basically game at an elite level with these amazing metal tokens that he creates. They're fantastic, 100% behind them. But with that said, let's get back to the game. Let's find it. Here it is. Boom. Going into game two, it'll be interesting to see if Cav can navigate the labyrinth that is Peters, and we will see if Mike can pull off a win with Brobnar. So here we go. Game two. We'll see what goes about. Back cave we go. Been getting luckier lately on the reflips. That the people who lose the first game are tending to get pulled in as the first player of the next game, so that's been good. So we see the same start as last game where a daughter comes into play and instantly grabs some value off of the deck for Peters. And the response this time around will be a quicksand, it looks like, and a probably just drop the cauldron boiler for Amber and see what happens. Yep. So the response here is probably going to be in Logos. Put the Harbinger under the Char Google, I would say. Seems like the right play. Archive going to go into action. Maybe he archives the Harbinger instead. We'll see. Nope, he does the Favor of Lex, and I think that's a great play because Favor of Rex is actually an outstanding card. Harbinger will definitely. No, he doesn't get pushed underneath the Jar Google. Interesting. Do, 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 do. So we are watching as we wait to see what Cav is going to, how he's going to respond to the Brend and Vinda coming into play. Mike is ending up with a lot of Brobnar in his hand. Let's see what he's got up here. He's got a Volcano, a Mega Ganger Chieftain, a Chieftain Baru. Lava is Floor. Lava is the Floor is actually a really cool card, by the way. I do like that card. And a Stiltkin. So, interesting. Brobner seems always like it chains people from having productive turns, and this is not an exception. So there goes the Floor is Lava. Sweet. Fan of that card. It basically says no more words. Now we're going to see a Stiltkin. Oh, no, he plays the Mega Ganger Chieftain first, then the Stiltkin, because he doesn't want to have to fight into the Harbinger. That's kind of interesting. All right. Harlan is doing his nightly laps to get ready for bed as he waits his popcorn. Mom makes him homemade popcorn. He loves it. All right, so we see the redder golem come into play here and slow down the key production. See the stilt can go away. See the golem getting some extra value there. And the turn ends. Ancient Power doing its thing. I think Ancient Power is a card that's got a lot of extra value now that it didn't have before. Like it definitely got a boost coming into Mass Mutations with the amount of stuff that happens with like the Cariosaur and stuff like that. There's a lot more amber on dinosaurs nowadays. With reason, the power level is ridiculous. Top shelf. In the fridge, top shelf. There is a gallon of milk there. So we see the Pestering Touch clearing off some of the, putting some damage across the board. He's still holding on to his Harbinger and adding more creatures to the board, so that's interesting. We're going to probably see this interdimensional grass get played. Or at least put under the Jargoogle, I would think. That would probably be best. Doesn't play the Jargoogle or the Graft. Interesting. He's definitely chaining himself. Here comes some more Brobnar. Hmm. Works his way up to 8 amber. 8 to 5 amber. So Mike is looking at how he wants to navigate this. He's finally going to take his turn in Untamed, which I think is cool. I'm going to do some fun things. Could bounce the Jargoogle here with the Nature's Call. That would be funny because then that card would just go into the discard pile instead of into the thing. So he loses his Imperium. Grab some decent value. Mike and Cav tied in keys, each with 2 amber, going into the 7th turn. We wait to see where Cav is going to go with this. See him going into the logos. He's going to basically have a. Basically, it's pretty split evenly, so logo seems to make the most sense here, as you can put down the Guardian and get the Jargoogle back out and clear some space for him to draw more cards. He also has the Twin Bolt Emission, which can do some work right here because it can put damage on the Rust Knot and the Bramble Lynx if he chose to, making the Floor is Lava a lot more dangerous for Mike in the next couple of turns. What will he Jargoogle? I say that. Hmm, choices. There's the Harbinger, but into play because the floor is lava. Which is a new TV show on Netflix as well. You should watch it. It's pretty fun. It's three people basically go into a room that is like filled with like red goo. And they have to basically try to get through the obstacle course. It's like a super old school, like Nickelodeon used to do, kind of game show. It's pretty fun. It's interesting to watch people try to navigate these rooms. I watch it with my kids, but I do enjoy it. There's the EA, and he's going to discard the Obsidian Forge. And the puzzle, I'm guessing, is next. I hope. Yeah. Let's see what he has in the discard pile. I'll tell you right now, the puzzle is actually somewhat effective. Maybe the Festering Touch should go here, not the puzzle. The puzzle is actually useful. The puzzle is a chainsaw, folks. Weeds your deck. Basically, weed whacks your deck for you. Takes out all the trash. But I get the reason. A Festering Touch could be useful, so. There's the Gleeful Mayhem, Lithal, and another Harbinger of Doom. As the board continues to get congested with creatures on the other side, Mike is just not playing scared of them. Which might be good, might be bad. We will see what the outcome will be. We are waiting Cav's turn as Mike came out aggressive again with the board state. Triple Mustic Murmuk is just absolutely brilliant, and I love it with Nature's Call. I can't lie. Don't love the deck with Brobnar. I don't like the Brobnar, but I do, even though I love Brobnar, I don't like this Brobnar that much. But I do love the triple Murmuk with Nature's Call. That's awesome. The best triple Murmuk deck in this tournament belongs to Nathan from Tabletop Royale. If you haven't seen his deck in action yet, deck is sweet. It's one of my favorite decks in the tournament. I think my favorite deck in the tournament is Zaire's deck, his Genka deck. It is absolutely the best and most fun Genka deck I've seen. I love it. With that said, the Rev 1 has a very nice Genka deck as well, but I think that Zaire's is more my style. Maybe we'll get to see that matchup at some point. Zaire versus Rev with Genka on Genka action. That would be fun. I don't think either one of them would play Genka against each other, but you never know. I haven't studied the deck pools enough to give you good assessments of that. We'll do that when we hit the top 16. We'll start doing better breakdowns and like nothing but premium videos. Cav is thinking. He's asking for seconds. Yeah. Harlan is happy in his ritual with his popcorn. Mom makes the best homemade popcorn. He can't say no to it. And he takes it to school every day with him too. The only bad repercussion of this popcorn is that his poops stink. Mm, I don't know. As we await Cav, my polite nudge test. Alright, so he opts to basically try to slow Mike down with the Edai play and get rid of a Murmook in hopes that he can get a key out of this instead of giving up the whole board. Problem with that is Mike has the third Murmook in hand, so he can go right back to it and then reap and get even more value on his cards. So pretty strong line for Mike. That's why Cap was probably thinking. But there is a tribute to come, so we'll see how that ends up. We have the sorry about that turn coming up where he's going to get to destroy his Harbinger and then he's going to get to tribute all of his Amber onto his Ludo, which is silly. It's going to be great. Oh, I take that back. He opts to just go into Dees and reset. Threaten the board with another one. Kudos. Kudos. I see Mike retaliating with a Ganger Chieftain and a Gravel Gut or a Shorty into the Harbinger, and then end turn with one Brahmanar creature on the board and take full effect of this barn raising. So he'll get one back from, like, knock one off of that 9 Amber with the barn raising when he goes in and plays Shorty into Ganger Chieftain, into Shorty into the Harbinger, and then leave Gravel Guts on the table so that way he can get bigger eating smaller things. Because that's what Gravel Guts does. He eats the small guys. Gets 2+1 powers every time he kills something, so if it's 2 or less, it's basically like he doesn't take damage. And he just continues to get bigger. So he eats like my oldest son, basically, is what we're saying. He eats so much that he just keeps growing because he just keeps eating. My oldest son. How many children are as big as Tristan? Yeah, very small percentage. Gonna be. He's already big. He's almost as big as me, and he's only like 12. Yes, no, he's 11, going on 12 in July, and he'll probably be as big as me by then. and big. All right, so we saw the play, but we did not see him go all in and clear the Harbinger. But we did see him hold it back so that he could get more value off of it next turn. So that's cool. Head shorty fight the Lithal. Okay. There's 5 amber on that Harbinger. He missed the. Sorry about that play. I think Cav missed it. Basically, he could have gained an amber off of that, played the Ludo, and then killed the board, and then like raised his. Yeah, I think he just noticed it. He's had that turn for like he's had that play for a while, but he's not used it. Uh, I honestly think he didn't even think about the story about that on his own Harbinger to play the Ludo to get the 6 Emperor play. Ugh. It's going to cost him the game, I think. I think Mike wins this 2-0 at this point now. There's still a tribute and a favor in the archives, though, so we'll see. There's still a lot of Keyforge left in Peters. See Mike threatening to get to check, like if he gets rid of the E-die, like could be game over here. Doesn't really have a way to get rid of E-die this play though, so it's kind of handcuffed a little bit here. He has to have a bad turn. Brobnar has finally struck. Finally said, "Hey, look, you're going to get a turn off during a critical time of the game." It's not something Mike probably wants to do right now. And he has a brand new deck too, so the deck just drew over, so there's no real way to know where he's heading in the next couple of turns. Usually when you're towards the end of a deck, at least you can see like kind of where you're going to and make for an optimal play to make sure you get more cards played. But here it's pretty like locked down. Opts to not draw cards and kill the Edai to see if he can win this way, which is not going to work out for him because of the tribute and the Sixth Emperor basically getting repopulated right off the bat. Peters is still going to be able to probably pull this one out, and they're going to go to game 3. So the chains will commence. See if they're going to let it get to 42. He's going to actually lose time over this playing to give him the key. He does not. Do do do. Another quick reminder that Fall Mass Mutation Madness 2-deck survival for Mass Mutations only, November 7th, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. GMT, $10 entry fee, $8 back to the prize pool, $2 to maintenance, cash up to the top 8, first place taking home 25% of that cash pool, and an invite to Season 2 of the league. Luxurious Playstyle has donated 20 Dark Amber tokens that we are going to raffle off with a spin of the wheel with featuring Harland, who will definitely be happy to see the wheel spin. And we will crown a person that has entered the tournament with 20 Dark Amber tokens, which is $55 MSRP, donated to us by Maddie Casper from the Luxurious Playstyle. So thank you again to them for that, and we look forward to see who wins those 20 amazing Amber shards. Why am I not seeing them again? Let's go back, Cabe. All right. Time to see the new order. Boom! Down with the signs so you guys can focus in on the bidding. Dun dun dun. Bid up! So Cav starts chain bidding at 1 chain. Mike goes straight to 6 chains. Confidence in his deck. Cav takes it to 7 chains. I think Mike might feel that he could get away with this one, but we'll see. could see a strong bit of 8 chains here, and then 9 being a trap. Like I think 9 is the farthest you ever want to go with Peters because the variance in the deck could really kill you. So we'll see what happens to see if Mike is too into his deck to let it go, or if Cav just doesn't feel like he can pilot it as well. But he has to understand that Mike pilots it very well. So he's got to be a little bit scared of the combos and the things that Mike can pull off with it. All right, there's the 9 chain bid. I think that's the trap. I think anything over 9 chains is going to be bad, and 9 chains is like right on that verge. But we'll see, because Mike has the confidence with this deck that no other person in the world has, because it's his baby. He is his hardest critic when it comes to playing this deck. He goes to 10 chains. He says, I can do it at 10. Problem is if Cav comes out high rolling his deck, I think that it could be 10 chains could be too much. But we'll see what Cav thinks. So far, the record chain bid has been 12, and that person did not win. So it will be interesting to see if the bids of 10, 11, or 12, like if it goes up any higher, if they can actually win with that chain count. That would be impressive. I really feel like 9 is a trap. Ooh, he bids 11. I think Mike has to give this up. Mike goes straight to 12. Not even a blink. All right, Mike at 12 chains. Bet in I think so. Mike, Mike might want to go first. Mike does not want to play the chase the chain game. So 45 minutes to glory. Let's see who gets there. See if Mike can overcome 12 chains. He does have a nice start though. Can't say that this is bad when he draws like all these cards to play. He's gonna get to draw like a whole bunch of cards. So we see Mike drawing into some really nice hands. His deck is like laying out for him pretty nicely so far, which is a good sign. But Cav does have some steam up in his hand waiting too. The Murmuk waits patiently in the wings to snipe. So we see the Edai get discarded. We see that Redder Gallop is in the archive. EA off the fringes goes and gets played, and they exhume an Edai to put a tribute and a Gallum now into the archives. So Mike is basically building his defense, knowing that he's going to probably have to catch up a little bit at the end here. What's up, buddy? What do you want to play, Harlan? Harlan, what do you want to play? What do you want to play? What? Minecraft? You've created a monster. You want to play Minecraft?
No.
What's that say?
Raging Studios.
Mojang Studios, you're right. Alright. So now we have Happy Baby. Back to the focus on the game. We see that the Mustic Mooks have come out and done some damage to the EA and raised some key costs a little bit. As Mike continues to wear down these chains, his deck is drawing brilliantly for this. You could tell that his deck likes him. If you believe in RNG and the randomness of RNG, in the camaraderie of decks, this is exactly what's happening. Peters likes Mike, Mike likes Peters, and they are basically synergizing really well. Mike into Tata Vapor is going to get to put more Saurian cards into the bag, which is a very strong as he continues to wear down this chain count. Simon is an interesting play here on the Jar Google. Or the E-Dies. It doesn't seem like Simon has very good value. Just not going to get there. So we're going untamed. Can't Nature's Call the creatures that he has on the board. Seems like bad value. Unless you want to get rid of what's underneath the Jar Google. But there's the Reap on the Murmook. Reap on Tandalion, Reap on Bramble. And then Nature's Select back down to 3. Unnatural Selection. Probably not great right here, but maybe you want that pip, and it would definitely help take you back down to where your Shadow Council was in the center, at least. But he is just going to reorganize here with the Bramble. And the Bramble's going to take out that last Edie. Yep. The good news for Mike is that he gets the 6 Emperor Tribute. So he's going to spike his Amber hard and take all the Amber from uh, the Batcave. And even though, like in most games, board states seem to matter, like watch this. This is Keyforge for you right here. As he's going to most definitely go into Saurian, pull up his archives. He's going to play his Redder Gallum, and he is going to tribute, and he is going to favor Rex, and he's going to do all these crazy things, and then he's just going to take it all with the Six Semper, and all that amber that is on Cav's side is going to end up on Mike's side, and Fredo Ludo is going to just laugh at it. But we'll see what he values more, the Praetor or the Redder Golem. But guarantee you that this is a Six Semper kind of turn. And you see Cav's hand is kind of handcuffed with just bad cards. Because why? Because he has 4 Brobnar cards in his hand. Ugh. They basically give Mike an extra turn every time you have to play Brobnar. So we see Mike winding up this turn, taking his time to make sure he gets it the way he wants it. The only real question here is, does he want the Gallum or the Ludo to be the one that he gets rid of? Only real question. So Favor of Rex is actually kind of cool because he could actually get a double value off of the Golem, the Redder Golem, and trigger it twice. That would put the tax up to 12 though, and I don't know if he wants to do that. I think he kind of wants to just tax him for 3 and leave it at that, but maybe not. Maybe he's gonna play the full greed. Yep, it looks like he is going to use the Gallum for bait. Now he plays the Ludo. Interesting. He got lucky and drew back into another tribute, so now the issue is he has no creatures to play his combo on, which is that's a rough spot. That's gonna tilt Mike a bit if I know Mike. Now he discards the 6 Semper. Like instead of playing it and at least killing the Dandelion? What kind of madness is this? game is falling apart quickly for Peters. So Cav wins the game as Mike but I think that one play tilted him. But that will be the end of this series, and it was 2-1 in favor of Cav. So we'll see what happens with this moving forward. So I'll catch you guys next time as we are on the way out.